think there are two challenges for the U.S. startups. The first is many of them have a great product idea and passion to start a company, but they have no experience in starting or building a company. So that's the first challenge for them. And then for those that do succeed in starting a company, the real challenge becomes sustaining themselves from a funding point of view. Most of them run out of money, and that causes the demise of the company and a good idea many times.
So I think one of the big challenges that U.S. startups have center around the lack of capital, the expense of bringing the products to market, and in actually the market. And so I think it's really important that we provide a forum where we can kind of provide maybe support for these companies.
I think there's challenges for any startup, just given their nature. You know, the most important thing with any startup is to have a new idea and then to be able to galvanize resources around that idea to hopefully create something that's disruptive, that will add a lot of value to whatever market that you're targeting.
Well, there are actually two areas, again, that Chinese companies can help U.S. startup companies. The first area would be investing in the companies, providing funding when it's needed very much. And the second is also licensing the technology of the company for the Chinese marketplace.
Well, you know, we've had a lot of experience over the last 3 years working with investors in China. They're always looking for opportunities here in the U.S. So I think it's a perfect match where you have capital that's looking for innovation, and if that innovation is found here in the U.S., doing that matchmaking, putting those two together, I think will benefit both.
A lot. As you said, U.S. startups or startups anywhere, are always looking for market adoption, and I think there's something very unique about the Chinese market that lends itself, potentially, we're seeing this right now, to helping startups grow faster than maybe they otherwise would had they not been in China. So there's a lot of models just because you have more people, and it's a more rapid adopting in terms of technology, just culturally. China tends to adopt technology faster than basically anywhere else in the world right now because it's gotten used to very high rates of growth and change. So I think that one thing that China can bring to startups in the U.S. is just a different type of market where there's a potential to reach more customers faster.
My expectation is that it'll be an opportunity to bring U.S. startup companies and Chinese investor companies and business companies together for the mutual benefit of both the U.S. and the Chinese company. And the goal will be to introduce U.S. companies to Chinese investors, to equally expose U.S. technologies to the Chinese companies with the goal of having them license that technology for the Chinese marketplace. In doing so, that provides an additional revenue stream for the U.S. companies, which further helps them in funding.
So our reason for putting this conference together is that the U.S. and China has always had a relationship. Many people that think that it's been a new relationship. This is a very old relationship. We've had business relationships with China for many, many decades. I think what we see now is that we're moving from China being seen as purely a manufacturing supplier, that type thing, to now participating in innovation and investing. And if you follow, a lot of investments that have been made in U.S. companies have been made by Chinese companies. And so I can't think of anything better than to create a conference that will bring together those Chinese investors with U.S. companies that are innovative, And putting those two is a marriage that I think is going to be a great benefit for both countries, in addition to the companies and entrepreneurs themselves. So the U.S.-China conference that we're putting together will be one of a kind. It'll be unique in this area. And I would say probably unique in the Southwest, where you actually are bringing together U.S. companies and Chinese investors. And we think that it's going to provide a very unique opportunity that we haven't seen in this area before.
I think it's going to be awesome. This is there hasn't really been I've been involved with China for quite a while, and I'm from Texas, and there just has not been a large-scale event like this, particularly around early-stage companies and ideas. Technology is very exciting. There has not been anything like this, bringing the best players from Texas and the best players from China around innovation, early stage investing, and new ideas. So I'm very excited to see who will show up. I'm excited to see everyone there and play an active part. And I think it's going to be very successful.
The Houston Technology Center is very pleased to be part of the U.S.-China Innovation and Investment Summit. We wish the summit well, and we're looking forward to having many of our U.S. startup companies participate in the summit, and also to meet with many of the Chinese investor and businesses that will be coming to the U.S. to attend the summit.
So I wish the U.S.-China Innovation and Investment Summit great success.
The U.S.-China Innovation Investment Summit in 2016 is going to be a great success.